So welcome to episode three. It's meaningless. This is the podcast for entrepreneurs who are tired of stuck and are ready to stomach the brutal truth. We discuss core truths here that'll help you discover the meaningless daily habits that keep you from protecting and growing in life and in business. Again, this is episode three, and this is image control. So, first episode, I talked about a little bit about 3 years ago going through a divorce. Um, and so you might ask, like, what does that have to do with entrepreneurship? And it's easy to forget, like in our day and time and culture, it's easy to forget that we are humans first, like we're people first, before we're entrepreneurs, before whatever title you wanna place, like we're people first. And so it's people that run businesses. It's people that um, um, bring value to others, that bring success and provide for success in the marketplace. It's people that do that. And so, like, in order for like those successes to happen, that value to be delivered, um, at the end of the day, like to some extent, people have to be okay. That includes you and me. Um, as far as divorce is concerned, like I can personally speak to this, but uh, I've heard a stat somewhere. Um, I guess it's not really a stat, but kind of a generalization or whatever. That effectively, I guess more of a rule of thumb is that if you're going through a divorce, you can expect your productivity to drop by about 50%. And um, I can't say that that happened immediately, but um, it probably dropped at least to 70 percent. So about a 30% cut at different times in different seasons. Some seasons, I don't know, maybe a week or two. Um, it may have been close to 50, but effectively, it was a significant drop. So I guess it's that kind of thing of being aware of the things that um, I don't know, the things that affect us, which is what this podcast is all about. So, um, on the topic of image, so anyway, I was talking about the divorce, and um, that season is what really opened my eyes to this whole topic of image control. Like I was aware of it before, um, but not to the extent that I was then. I talked about in the first episode how I had some accusations kind of thrown at me. Um, and like the ones that were set up in the protective order, like that was those, those were just some of them. Um, so like that was a season of like having everything that I guess I knew of my image and reputation pretty much like splattered like everywhere I went. Um, and this isn't about divorce in itself. However, it is like this could happen in any arena. This could happen in your work. Um, and in fact, I had um, had a client who owned a building, and this I don't know, this disgruntled customer is not a customer of his. He just owned the building, and um, this customer of his effectively, um, or again, not of his, one of his tenants. I guess she was upset with the people who she did business with in one of the offices, and so she sees an um, expired what is it certificate in the elevator shaft. And so she gives the fire marshal a call. Don't get me wrong, his thing should have been expired anyway, but she gives the fire marshal a call, so it gets his elevator shut down for a good bit while he had to make a bunch of changes on it. So like that's a minor, well, relatively minor. It did cost him a bit um, of reputation, of image for his employees, well, not employees, but with his tenants, because the elevator was out of service for a good bit. Um, Largely due, partly due to the extent of the upgrades and things that had to be done on it. Um, but I say all that to say, like, you just don't know. Like, something random um, can happen. Like, even if you do have all your I's dotted and T's crossed, it only takes to one person to submit unfactual evidence that creates doubt in the minds of those that you formerly had reputation with. Because in other words, they don't have to believe, and like this is straight from like experience. Like they don't have to believe the accusations. They don't have to believe the lies in order for it to cost you reputation. The only thing that has to be presented in the minds of those who value you, who value your reputation, is doubt. Um, they don't have to believe that the accusations are true. They just have to get enough of it in their minds to where there's some doubt, just a little bit, and that's enough to um, crumple image. They may not be as willing to do business with you as they have been in the past, and like things might shift. So, with that said, that is with the understanding of how easy it is to have reputation damaged. The question is like how much effort, how much energy, um, how much do we put into like trying to preserve it, trying to keep it, trying to maintain it, trying to build it. Um, Obviously, there is. Um, so I subscribe to scripture, to the Bible, and there's like tons of stuff in there that I take as wisdom, especially a lot in um, the book of Proverbs. And there's a proverb in there that says that a a good name, that is a good reputation, is to be more valued than money, um, than a lot of money. Um, in fact, there's another one that talks about how uh, a poor person who's wise um, is more valued than is of greater value than someone um, who's rich and they're a liar, um, or wicked. And so, to me, it occurs that there is a very significant value to having a good reputation. Um, However, with like the contrast of being able to lose image in with like no matter what you do, um, having the ability to lose your image, your reputation like that, like how much is like warranted for the amount of of resources that we put into developing it. So that is the question that we are exploring here today. Um, and one I'm going to leave with you, the only thoughts I'll give you on it, um, besides the ones I've already given, is um, one of the things I believe that this whole topic of image control, I think we, for the most part, I think people, like all of us, overdo it. Um, and here's why. Um, this is why I'm so convinced of that. Um, like you can go and look at media, but then realistically, like if you just take the time to just be introspective in yourself, like how often do your thoughts go to what will people think? Um, what will these people think? What will those people over here think? Um, Let me do it this way so that those people don't think this way. Like just taking an inventory. A couple of, um, I guess, in therapy and therapy groups or whatever, I've heard of different exercises to where I don't know, you take like a day, 24 hours, you can take a week or whatever, and just do like a thought journal, um, to where you go through a day, 24 hours. Like for this one, I'd probably suggest like at least 3 days. Although for most of us, probably 24 would be enough to see a pattern. But um, anyway, but just take time and just throughout your day, just write down little notes. You don't have to do like exposés or anything, but just little notes of when you catch yourself thinking about what other people think. When you catch yourself thinking about how you're going to proceed with the next decision based on what other people think. And in that journal, like you could take down um, what your thoughts are, what this a little bit, let's just a little brief thing of what the situation is, and um, you are, who exactly you're concerned about, like their opinion. Uh, that is probably a really good place to start. Like when you have time later, you can go back and kind of go through that and kind of analyze like what's the value of me going through this line of thought process. Um, how much time did I spend thinking about this? How much time would I have normally thought spent thinking about this if I hadn't taken the time to like journal it and then move on? Um, and then what's the value of each one of those people's input or view? Because at the end of the day, with this thing of image control, a lot of us are trying to get everybody to see us in a certain way, and it's just not possible. Um, that's where this conversation, that's where this topic goes completely off the rails. Is looking for um, when we're looking for someone's when we're looking to have this reputation thing like locked in solid with everybody, and it's just not possible. um it's like it's kind of like the 80/20 rule. um like find those 80% of people that like you'll knock the doors off with, and just knock the doors off with them. Everybody else, like, you'll have detractors. Like, you will. If you're doing something good, you're doing something right, you're gonna have detractors. So um, that helps keep that extra mental, physical, spiritual, emotional resources like free to actually focus on like what is it that I'm here to do. What is it that I'm trying to accomplish in the marketplace? Who am I trying to actually serve? Um, instead of having a focus on people who, I want to say in the grand scheme of things, but actually more specific to like, what am I called to do? Don't really matter that much. At least their opinion doesn't matter. So anyway, that's all I have for this one. Obviously, this is a big topic, and we'll talk about more um, as we go forward. Anyway, and I'll be back on Thursday to yeah, to go over this more. And until then, take care. Peace out.